She was always invisible. No magic, no voice, no one ever cared. Until he noticed her. A powerful commander invites her out for the first time, to eat, to laugh, to live. He even asks her to wear the same kimono she wore the day they first met. But what happens when he finds out the truth? That she has no powers? That her family treated her like a servant her entire life? That she's been carrying the weight of being not enough since the day she was born? And just when it seems like she might finally find happiness, someone starts watching from the shadows. Who is pulling the strings behind her fate? And will he still love her once he knows everything? Stay till the end, because this isn't just a love story. It's a story of pain, healing, and finding your worth in a world that says you're nothing.
At the beginning of the story, we see a girl named Kaya. She was scolding the housemaid because the tea she made was undrinkable. Kaya told her to make it again. Kaya's mother also started scolding the maid. The maid's name is Miyo Saimori. Then we learn that Miyo is actually the daughter of this very family. Despite being a member of the family, everyone treats her like a servant. The reason for this will be revealed later. After that, we see a man come to their house with a marriage proposal for Kaya. While Miyo was sweeping the floor, a boy named Koji came to her. We find out that Koji is the son of the man who brought the marriage proposal. Miyo and Koji already knew each other, and in fact, they liked each other. From Koji's words, it becomes clear that he wants to free Miyo from her sorrowful life and give her a beautiful, happy life. He wants to always see her smiling. Later that evening, the Saimori family is having dinner. There, Kaya asks her father to buy her a new kimono. Her father says he will buy her not just one, but 3 kimonos. At that moment, while Miyo was clearing the dishes, her father tells her to be ready the day after tomorrow. Hearing this, Miyo becomes anxious because usually everyone treats her like a servant. She has no idea what awaits her. The next evening, Koji comes to Miyo again, but this time, he looks sad. He tells Miyo that he came to meet with her father. A little while later, a maid comes and tells Miyo that her father wants to see her. Miyo, full of hope, thinks perhaps the marriage proposal is for her and Koji. But when she goes inside, she sees Koji sitting with Kaya. Then her father announces that Koji will marry Kaya and become the next heir of the household. Miyo's heart breaks hearing this, but she holds back her tears because she knows happiness never comes easily in her ill-fated life. Her father then announces that Miyo will be married to Kiyo of the Kudo family. We find out that Kiyo is known as a cruel and heartless man. Miyo's sister mocks her, saying, "Let's see how long you survive this time." Without even asking for Miyo's opinion, her father orders her to pack everything and leave for the Kudo household. As Miyo leaves the house, Koji sees her standing in the rain. He remembers a flashback where he once told his father he would only marry Miyo, but his father went completely against his wishes. In the end, Koji was forced to agree to marry Kaya. The scene shifts. Miyo sits under a tree crying. That tree holds memories of her mother. It was her only companion in times of sadness. But now she must leave it behind. She bids farewell to the tree. A little later, Koji comes and apologizes to Miyo because he couldn't keep his promise to give her happiness. Miyo tells him it isn't his fault. Her fate itself is cursed, and happiness was never meant for her. Koji wants to confess his true feelings, but just then, Kaya shows up. Miyo thanks Koji for always being by her side all this time. At night, while Miyo is packing, a maid brings her a new kimono. The maid says, "This is from your father. He wants you to wear it when you leave tomorrow." Then, the maid warns her, "The man you're marrying is very strict and cruel. All his previous wives left him. You must be careful." Miyo has very few belongings. The maid asks, "Are you taking only this much?" Miyo replies, "All of my mother's mementos were thrown away long ago. I have nothing else." The maid gives her some food and says, "Take care of yourself." Miyo thinks to herself, Such a beautiful kimono will never suit someone like me, who has always lived as a servant. The next morning, Miyo stands outside the house in her new kimono. She drifts into childhood memories, how after her mother's death, happiness vanished from her life. Even her mother's tree slowly withered away. Then she leaves by train. Again, lost in thoughts, she remembers how her stepmother treated her like a servant, how her sister always humiliated her, and how her stepmother constantly scolded her. One day, they even cut down her mother's tree, which deeply broke her heart. Lost in memories, Miyo finally arrives at the Kudo household. But what she sees shocks her. The house is even worse than she had imagined. Miyo knocks on the door. A maid opens it. Miyo introduces herself, and the maid welcomes her warmly. Nervously, Miyo steps inside. The maid takes her to Kudo. Miyo bows deeply in respect. Then Kudo says, "How long will you keep your head down like that?" Miyo apologizes, but Kudo replies, "I didn't ask you to apologize." Miyo raises her head, and she is astonished to see him, because the man everyone described as cruel and terrifying actually looks kind and handsome.
Kudo tells Miyo, "So whatever I say, you must obey without question. If I say walk, you must walk. If I say die, then you must die." Miyo calmly agrees to everything, even to dying if ordered. Kudo is shocked. He never imagined someone would accept his harsh conditions so unquestioningly. Afterward, a maid shows Miyo her room. The maid's name is Yurie. Yurie explains that Miyo might have heard many rumors about Kudo, but none of them are true. He's just a bit short-tempered. That night, Miyo is given a beautiful bed to sleep on. She thinks, "I thought I would have to sleep on the floor, but the rumors are already proving false." Then we learn, everyone in the Saimori family is born with special powers, but Miyo was born without any abilities. A flashback shows an incident from the past. Her father was performing a spiritual ritual on her. A box was placed in front of them. The moment the box was opened, an invisible force emerged. The power moved towards both Miyo and her sister, but Miyo couldn't see it while her sister saw it clearly. Suddenly all the candles went out. Her father realized it was her sister who possessed special powers. From that day he began neglecting Miyo and favoring her sister. Even her stepmother mistreated her. Miyo never received love, only abuse and humiliation. This scene turns out to be Miyo's dream. When she wakes up, she realizes she is no longer part of the Saimori family. She must now live as a member of the Kudo household. So, she goes into the kitchen to cook, hoping to impress Kudo. When Yurie comes in, she sees that Miyo has already finished preparing everything. After tasting the food, Yurie realizes that Miyo's cooking is wonderful. Even her presentation is elegant. But Kudo never eats food prepared by anyone other than Yurie. Kudo asks Miyo to eat the food herself because she suspects she might have poisoned it. When Miyo refuses, Kudo orders the dishes to be thrown away and leaves. This deeply hurts Miyo, making her feel like her life is meaningless. Next we see Kudo with his soldiers. Kudo is actually their commander, teaching them unity and keeping them always ready for battle. He demonstrates his immense strength, breaking a wall with just one finger. One of his junior officers teases him, saying that Kudo looks so gloomy, maybe his fiancée has already run away. When Kudo is getting ready for work, Yuria tells him that Miyo had worked very hard to prepare the meal and his behavior may have deeply hurt her. Kudo thinks to himself, it's unusual, since Yuri has never praised anyone before. Meanwhile, Miyo's father and sister are talking amongst themselves. Koji comes to leave some belongings in Miyo's room. He sees that her room is small and nearly empty. Koji thinks, Kudo's marriages never last long. If he rejects Miyo too, then I'll be there to help her. Later that night, when Kudo returns home, Miyo apologizes to him for the morning incident. She hadn't known that Kudo only eats food cooked by Yuri. She also tells him that Yuri had prepared dinner for him. When Kudo sits down, he remarks that the food has already gone cold. Miyo apologizes again. Then Kudo says, I don't want you to keep apologizing for everything. It feels like every breath you take is hiding sorrow. He tells Miyo, tomorrow you will prepare breakfast. Miyo is surprised, but Kudo clarifies, don't think I was accusing you of poisoning me. I simply didn't want to eat food from someone unfamiliar. Miyo drifts into another memory, searching for her mother's belongings but not finding them. She calls out to a maid named Hana. She discovers that Kaya had stolen those belongings. Miyo wants to tell her father, but before she can, Kaya brings their mother and pushes Miyo down. A comb, the last keepsake from her mother, falls from Miyo's hand, but her stepmother breaks it. Then they lock Miyo inside a room. Her father witnesses everything but says nothing. When Hana tries to help Miyo escape, she too is thrown out of the household. Back in the present, we see that Miyo was dreaming all this. She wakes up and combs her hair with the broken comb, thinking of Hana. She wishes she could see her just once more. She then changes into clothes, though even those are torn, and heads to the kitchen to cook. Yurie comes to assist her. When the meal is served, Kudo tastes it and admits Miyo's cooking is truly excellent. Miyo had been nervous, but hearing this, her eyes fill with tears. Because after so many years, for the first time, someone praised her. In the past, she only ever heard insults from her stepmother. Kudo notices Miyo's torn kimono and rough hands. He wonders how could the daughter of such a respected family be in this condition. But he still doesn't know that Miyo had been forced to live like a servant in her own home. He wants to know more about her past, but he realizes Miyo is the quiet type, she would never open up about it. So Kudo decides he will go meet her parents himself. On the other hand, we learn that Miyo was originally promised to Koji's brother. By breaking that engagement, Miyo's father sent her off to Kudo instead. Because of this betrayal, Koji's father strongly criticizes Miyo's father.
Kudo always saw Miyo living alone inside the house. During dinner, he expressed his wish to take her out for a walk. At first, Miyo refused because she considered herself a burden. But with Kudo's insistence, she finally agreed. Kudo told Miyo to get ready in the same kimono she had worn on the very first day. The next morning, as Miyo was preparing, Yuri came in and started putting makeup on her. Miyo revealed that she had never worn makeup before. She didn't even own any. When Yuri finished, Miyo looked absolutely stunning. And when Kudo saw her, his eyes widened in shock, because at that moment, he realized he had developed a crush on her. Later, Miyo and Kudo went to the army camp by car. One of Kudo's juniors instantly developed a crush on Miyo too, but since she was the fiancée of his superior, he treated her with respect. This made Kudo feel a little jealous. After that, the two went out to stroll through the city streets. Under the beauty of the evening, Miyo's eyes wandered in awe. Meanwhile, we see Koji and Miyo's father talking. Koji's father said, Miyo's mother belonged to the Usuba clan, so naturally Miyo must also have supernatural powers. The Usuba bloodline is very powerful. But Miyo's father replied that Miyo had no such powers inside her. Koji's father insisted, so what, her children can still inherit such powers? To which Miyo's father answered, if Kudo finds out that Miyo has no powers, he will refuse to marry her. At that time, you should make her your daughter-in-law. From this, we understand that Miyo's father never truly loved her. He always considered her nothing but a burden. Meanwhile, Kaya overheard their conversation. Furious, she scolded the maids harshly. But Koji stepped in and told Kaya that it was wrong to speak to the maids in such a way. Then Koji asked Kaya to go out with him. Kaya, sulking, reluctantly agreed. In truth, she could not accept Koji as her husband. Back to Kudo and Miyo. Kudo took her to a clothing shop. He already knew the shopkeeper, who then showed a beautiful kimono to Miyo. He had actually brought her there to buy new clothes since she always wore old ones. He asked the shopkeeper what color would suit her best. Since Miyo looked so cute, the shopkeeper suggested pink. But Kudo's eyes were drawn to a cherry blossom pattern fabric, so he ordered both for her. The shopkeeper, impressed by Miyo as well, told Kudo to always stay by her side. Kudo quietly etched those words into his heart. Afterwards, they went to a restaurant. Miyo had never tasted such delicious food in her life, nor had she ever been to a restaurant before. Kudo said to her, I have never seen you smile. I want to see the corners of your lips light up with a smile. Miyo once again tried to apologize, but Kudo stopped her. Don't belittle yourself with constant apologies. If something is in your heart, you should share it. I want to give you a world where no sadness will ever touch you. Hearing this, Miyo felt truly happy. Yet,
a fear also crept into her heart. What if Kudo finds out that I have no powers? What then? That evening, after they returned home, Kudo left a box in front of Miyo's room. When Yuri saw it, she teased, "Is this a proposal gift? Because gifting a comb usually means a marriage proposal." Kudo quickly replied, "No, it's nothing like that. I just noticed she uses a broken comb, so I got her a new one." After her bath, Miyo opened the box and found a brand new comb inside. She ran to Kudo and asked him, "Is this really for me?" Kudo answered, "Yes, it's for you." Miyo said, "But it looks so expensive. How can I accept it?" Kudo replied again, "I bought it for you, so you must accept it." Hearing this, Miyo burst into tears of joy. For the first time in her life, someone had made her feel truly valued. The next day, Kudo received information that Miyo indeed had no powers and that she had endured countless abuses at the hands of her stepmother. In her own family, she was treated like nothing more than a servant. Kudo was deeply shaken by this revelation. He thought to himself, such suffering cannot be hidden behind a tattered kimono. He also learned that Miyo's mother was from the Usuba clan. This surprised Kudo. Then why was she married off to a samurai family? Just then, Kudo realized that someone was spying on him through origami shikigami. Using his power, he burned the paper charms. On the other hand, in a dream, Miyo's mother appeared before her and apologized because she could never do anything for her. In truth, Miyo's mother had a special power that allowed her to see the past, the future, and even people's dreams. She told Miyo, "The day I return, your suffering will be replaced with happiness." But what is the mystery behind her words? Is Miyo's mother still alive? When Miyo woke up, she asked Miss Yuri, "Kudo has given me such a beautiful gift. I also want to give him something in return." Yuri delightedly brought her a book that contained ideas for making handmade items. Yuri said, "If you make something with your own hands, Kudo will treasure it forever." Hearing this, Miyo decided to make a hair tie for Kudo. Later, as Kudo was leaving for work, Miyo asked him, "Can I go out for a while today? I need to buy something." Kudo asked, "Will you go alone?" Miyo replied, "No, Miss Yuri will come with me." Kudo offered, "If you want, I can take you myself." But Miyo insisted, "No, I can manage." Kudo then handed her a protective charm and said, "Keep this with you always." This showed just how deeply Kudo had begun to care for Miyo. Meanwhile, Koji sat angrily in his room. His elder brother blamed him. "All of this is happening because of you." When Koji protested, his brother used his powers to silence him. Elsewhere, Miyo and Miss Yuri went to the market to buy materials for making the hair tie. Miyo chose a purple thread. Then Yuri remembered she also needed to buy salt for the house, so she left Miyo there for a while. At that moment, Miyo's stepsister Kaya saw her and became restless. Koji stood by her side. At the same time, Kudo went to Miyo's parents' house. He firmly declared, "I want to marry your daughter and the wedding will happen soon." Everyone was shocked. Kudo continued, "For this marriage, you don't have to give anything. But there is one thing you must do. I know very well how you threw Miyo into hell." Meanwhile, Kaya began insulting Miyo. "Are you still wearing that old kimono? Kudo will surely abandon you." Koji tried to stop her, but Kaya ignored him. Back at Miyo's parents' home, Kudo said again, "You don't need to provide a dowry. Instead, you must apologize to Miyo. If you don't, I will break all ties with this family." Later, Kaya discovered that Miss Yuri was actually Miyo's maid, while Miyo herself was Kudo's future wife. She was left shocked and thought, then Kudo truly is such a good man? After Kudo left, Miyo was still drowning in sadness. Just then she met her childhood friend Kana, who was now happily married. Crying, Miyo confessed to her, "I have no powers. How can I become Kudo's wife?" Kana comforted her. "Kudo brought you into his home himself. You should talk to him directly." Miyo then ran to Kudo and confessed everything. "I have no powers. I grew up like a servant in my own home. Perhaps I should have told you all this earlier. If you want to punish me, I will accept it. But before that, I want to thank you for showing me the city, for giving me gifts." Kudo interrupted her. "I will never punish you. I only want to be with you. Don't you want that too?" With tears in her eyes, Miyo replied, I want to be with you for as long as you allow me. Kudo said, You don't need my permission. I only want you. After that, Miyo tied the handmade hairstring onto Kudo's hair. Kudo smiled happily. This is beautiful. In the final scene, we see that someone is secretly spying on Kudo. It is revealed to be Miyo's own father. Furious at how Miyo and Kudo's relationship was growing stronger, he began plotting something sinister together with Kaya.
See that Kudo gifts Miyo several kimonos. Miyo says, Lord Kudo, how can I accept so many gifts? Kudo replies, These are just a token of thanks in return for that hair ribbon you made. Hearing this, Miyo agrees. Then Kudo says, You pick these out for yourself, which makes Miyo very happy. Next we go to Koji's house where his father has summoned Kaya. There, Koji's father shows Kaya a picture of Miyo. Seeing the picture, Kaya realizes that the handsome man who had visited their house was actually Kudo. And seeing Miyo with Kudo, intense jealousy rises within Kaya. Koji's father takes advantage of this and instigates Kaya. Kaya then says, Why don't I just directly ask Kudo's father? You want me to go there, right? My father won't stop me from anything. Hearing this, her father thinks convincing her will be very easy. Then we see Miyo cooking. Today she has invited Kudo's friend Goto over for dinner. Kudo and Goto are arriving together in a car. Goto is very excited to meet Miyo. When Miyo is ready, the two arrive at the house. Miyo comes outside to welcome them. Kudo sees her and says, You look very beautiful today. Hearing this, both of them get a little shy, since Goto is also present. But this scene does not go unnoticed. Kaya sees everything. Seeing her sister so happy fills her with rage. Miyo has prepared many dishes. As soon as Goto starts eating, he says, Kudo is so lucky to get such delicious food every day. He then thanks Miyo for inviting him. At that moment, Kudo holds Miyo's hand and says, No one has ever welcomed me so warmly before. Just marry me already. Hearing this, Kudo gets annoyed. But Goto says, I was just joking. Miyo then replies, Thank you, but I only want to be with Kudo, not with anyone else. Please forgive me. Goto says, Don't take it so seriously. That night, Goto drinks a lot, so Kudo drives him home. Meanwhile, Kaya requests her father, but he refuses. So Kaya goes to Koji and says, Break off your engagement with your sister. Then we see Miyo so tired that she falls asleep at the table. In her sleep, she has a terrifying nightmare. Kudo notices and comes to her side. Miyo suddenly wakes up. Kudo asks her, Are you okay? If you're feeling distressed, please share it with me. On the other hand, Koji says some strange things and realizes that his father and Kaya are planning something bad. Meanwhile, Miyo and Yuri prepare a lunchbox for Kudo and decide to take it to his office. Miyo wears a new outfit and Yuri gives her a matching ribbon. They head out, but Miyo forgets her amulet. When Kudo arrives at the office, he asks, Do you have your amulet? Miyo replies, Yes, it's with my ribbon. But after Kudo leaves, Miyo remembers that she actually left the amulet at home. Yuri says, We should return home right away. They hurry down the road and suddenly a car stops in front of them. Invisible people grab Miyo and pull her into the car. Yuri sees everything, but she gets injured and loses consciousness. The car speeds away. Back at Koji's house, his father tells Kaya, We have to get rid of Miyo. There's no other option. If her mother had looked after her properly, you would have had your chance. Hearing this, Koji gets furious and uses his gravity powers to throw things at his father. But his father easily stops him and throws Koji to the ground, injuring him, and then walks away. As Koji tries to get up, his older brother arrives and helps him with his own powers. He says, Don't stand against father. Meanwhile, at Kudo's office, Yuri runs in and explains everything that happened. Just then, Koji also arrives. Kudo comes outside. Koji says, I may be the last person you want to hear this from, but please help me. I can't save Miyo alone. Kudo is shocked to hear this.
Miyo has been tied up in a room. She looks around but cannot figure out where she is. She begins to cry out for help. Suddenly, the door opens, and to her shock, she sees her own sister standing there. Realization strikes Miyo. Her sister has been involved in all of this from the very beginning. We then see Kudo and Koji, who are in a car, heading toward the samurai mansion. Koji strongly believes Miyo has been kept there. Meanwhile, Miyo's sister Kaya and her stepmother are forcing her to give up on marrying Kudo. Kaya holds a pair of scissors in her hand, glaring with clear hatred. She cuts Miyo's kimono and presses the sharp scissors against Miyo's throat, threatening her. They demand that Miyo say with her own mouth that she will not marry Kudo. Miyo's heart aches. Why must all the suffering always fall upon her? Perhaps it would be easier if she simply obeyed. But she remains silent. After a pause, she gathers her courage and says firmly, "No, I will not obey you." Enraged, her stepmother strikes her with a fan. Then Kaya brings out a larger pair of scissors, cuts Miyo's bindings, grabs her by the hair, and humiliates her. Yet, Miyo does not break. She stands her ground and declares that she will not give in. At this moment, Kudo and Koji arrive at the samurai mansion. But the gate is locked. Kudo tells Koji to step back, then smashes the door open with a powerful kick. Miyo's father rushes out, demanding, "Kudo, why are you doing this?" Kudo only asks one thing: where is Miyo? Then, Koji's father appears, declaring that Miyo will never return to Kudo. Despite Kudo's repeated questions, he refuses to answer, saying instead, "I have no interest in you." Kudo's anger rises and he unleashes his power. Koji's father attacks with the force of wind, but Kudo easily blocks it. With a single strike of his own ability, he knocks him unconscious. Meanwhile, Kaya continues pressuring Miyo. But suddenly, Kudo bursts into the room. Miyo's eyes fill with joy the moment she sees him. Kudo, however, is consumed with rage at Miyo's condition. Kaya protests desperately, "This isn't my fault. It was just a mistake. Miyo has no powers. She's not worthy of your family. I am better for you." But Kudo silences her with fury. "Enough. I don't want to hear another word. Even if heaven itself were offered to me, I would never marry a woman like you." With that, he takes Miyo into his arms and carries her away. Later, we see two mysterious figures discussing Kudo. They are furious because Kudo has awakened earlier than expected. One of them asks for permission to execute a plan that had been sealed away for many years. Permission is granted. Finally, Miyo awakens to find Kudo at her side. Kudo gently helps her sit up. Soon, Miss Yuri arrives as well, and upon seeing Miyo safe, she bursts into tears of joy. Both she and Kudo are overwhelmed with happiness at Miyo's return.
Miyo asks Kudo about his house. Kudo explains that their house was completely burned down and destroyed, but everyone is safe. Then, Miyo requests Kudo to take her to his house. Kudo agrees, and Miyo sees that their house is indeed reduced to ashes. Kudo tells her that his family is currently staying at another house, and that they have let go of most of their staff. Additionally, Koji's family will now work under the Kudo family. After that, Miyo inquires about Kaya. Kudo says that Kaya will now work at another house. We then see Kaya, sitting with her face covered in shame. Koji arrives and says to her, "Is this what your shame looks like?" Kaya is not pleased to hear this. Koji tells her that everything is not over, and if they want, they can rebuild the Saimori family. But Kaya rejects him and tells him to leave. Meanwhile, Miyo finds the remains of her mother's tree. As she touches it, she feels a strange sensation, and suddenly, it crumbles into ashes. Kudo says, "This is my fault." Miyo comforts him and says it's not his fault. Then the two of them leave the place together. Afterward, Kudo talks to Miyo about their marriage and meeting his father. Hearing this, Miyo feels shy. Suddenly, Koji arrives and thanks Kudo, then asks to speak with Miyo alone. Kudo agrees. Miyo and Koji go to their old meeting place and talk.
Koji says he will return to the past and train to become stronger. During the conversation, some vague memories surface in Miyo's mind, but she says she doesn't remember anything. Koji then realizes that Miyo now belongs to Kudo. He leaves. Later, Kudo and Miyo return home and their wedding ceremony begins. They first write their names on a piece of paper, which formally marks the start of their marriage. Then a new character appears, Hasuki, who introduces herself as Kudo's older sister. In a flashback, it's shown that Miyo had said she wanted to continue studying. For this reason, Kudo called her sister Hasuki to teach her. In the present, Hasuki meets Miyo, offers her a drink, and at that moment, Miss Yuri arrives. Hasuki is happy to see her. Hasuki announces that she will be Miyo's teacher and will help her with her studies. Later, Hasuki begins teaching Miyo about flowers. She asks Miyo to choose a flower. Miyo chooses a small, beautiful one named Tsubaki, which symbolizes hope and blooms for only one day. Hasuki gives her more flowers as gifts. Kudo was quietly listening to their conversation. When Miyo thanks Hasuki, she is pleased. She then suggests that Miyo should stay with her for a while. Afterward, Hasuki leaves. At night, Kudo suddenly wakes up. He sees that Miyo is having another terrifying nightmare. Kudo notices that Miyo's protective barrier hasn't been broken, yet something managed to enter. That means this nightmare is not ordinary. It's something that can bypass normal defenses. The next day, we see a group of people casting a spell on a mysterious stone. Gradually, the stone cracks open and a deadly energy emerges from within. Meanwhile, Kudo goes to his office to meet with his senior. The senior tells him that the grave seal has been broken. Although the details are unknown, they are certain that the seal has indeed been broken. Hearing this, Kudo is shocked. Finally, we see the mysterious character from earlier who says, "The time has come. I've come to take you, Miyo."
After that, a story is revealed. Far away, on a mountain, there is a grave where magic users are buried after death. This is because those who possess spiritual powers can turn into dangerous spirits after they die. To prevent those spirits from escaping, they are sealed inside that place. But if that seal is ever broken, they could wreak havoc on the capital and harm people. We learn that someone has broken that grave's seal. Next, we see the anime's male protagonist, Kudo, discussing the grave with his senior. They don't know who broke it or why. Kudo says that if it's due to the new system introduced by Mr. Takahito, then something suspicious is going on. The senior explains that Takahito's powers haven't fully stabilized yet. Once he ascends the throne, he will attain his full strength. Then someone else arrives. It's Takashi, Koji's older brother. He comes dressed in regular clothing. Seeing this, Kudo is surprised. "Are you going to meet His Highness like that?" Takashi says that uniforms are for military personnel and he is not in the military, so he came in regular clothing. Kudo says, "I'll let it slide this time, but don't repeat it." The three of them then go to meet His Highness. His Highness thanks them. Takashi politely introduces himself and apologizes for the mistakes made by their family in the previous episode. He says that now that he is the head of the family, they will follow the orders of the Kudo family. Then, Kudo's senior discusses the grave situation with His Highness. He says that a dark and terrifying night is approaching. On that night, there will be a battle, and if it's not handled properly, lives may be lost. He adds that if he sees anything else in the future, he will inform them. Afterward, His Highness calls Kudo for a private conversation about his engagement. He hints that things are going to become difficult for Kudo. Kudo asks, "What do you mean by difficult?" His Highness doesn't answer directly, but simply tells him to have faith. Meanwhile, Kudo's sister Hasuki is teaching Miyo.
Hasuki tells her to smile, but Miyo's smile doesn't look natural. Hasuki then shares a funny story from her own childhood, making Miyo laugh spontaneously. Hasuki says that's how you should smile. Then she teaches her how to walk properly, how to eat gracefully, and how to improve her handwriting. Elsewhere, Kudo sits in his office, deep in thought, certain that His Highness knows something about what's going to happen to Miya. He wonders how he can protect her. He recalls the secret agent he had sent to investigate Miyo's background. The agent informs him that on her mother's side, the Suma family comes from a rare, blue-blooded magical ability. This magical ability is extremely rare. They could enter others' minds and manipulate their memories and dreams. It's possible that Miyo's recurring nightmares are related to this. Later, Hasuki tells Miyo, "You don't have to call me Miss Hasuki. You're part of our family now. Just call me sister." But hearing the word sister brings back bad memories from Miyo from her past with Kaya. She hesitates but eventually calls Hasuki by her name. Hasuki happily accepts. Kudo then meets his agent again and asks if they found anything. The agent says the Suma family lives in secrecy, so it's difficult to find information. Kudo instructs him to dig even deeper. Later, Hasuki decides to take Miyo outside to practice walking. Miyo feels nervous, but Hasuki reassures her. At the same time, the mysterious man appears to meet Kudo. He reveals his name and claims to know everything about Kudo. They discuss the grave situation. The man proposes sending Kudo's military to investigate. That night, Kudo goes with his troops into the forest near the gravesite. There, Kudo Sr. and Takayo are examining a corpse that had been attacked by spirits. When Takayo uses a healing technique on the corpse, a horrifying black smoke emerges. She is terrified. Suddenly, Kudo senses that the wind around them has stopped. His senses are heightened. Then, suddenly, countless spirits surround them. Kudo begins fighting against them alongside his troops. At the same time, Miyo is trapped in a nightmare. She sees numerous hands emerging from below, pulling her down. Meanwhile, Kudo is fighting fiercely against the spirits. Before dawn, he manages to defeat them all. Miyo suddenly wakes up, as if she was somehow connected to the events. Then we see the mysterious man again, speaking to another old soldier. "The time has come. This is my responsibility." Elsewhere in the city, Hasuki and Miss Yurie take Miyo out for a walk. Miyo grows tired, so they decide to return. Suddenly, a child bumps into Miyo. Her purse falls, and as she bends down to pick it up, she feels dizzy and begins to faint. Just then, someone catches her. We see that it's the mysterious man. He says, "Are you Miss Miyo?" And with this climactic moment, the episode ends.